for the welfare of the whole humanity. Om Stapakaya Chadharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Stapakaya Chadharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Avadharavarishthaya Ramakrishna Te Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityoramamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We are discussing the topic Mantra Sadhan. Last class, I just mentioned the significance of the mantra, what exactly mantra does, and how it is very important to have the mantra. Mantra is the root of the tree. Without mantra, you can't have spiritual tree. So, it is very important to sow the seed for spiritual life. That seed is mantra. Lord Krishna has said, as I said in the last class, Sarvakaleshu Mamanusmara. What a fine statement. Very fine. Sarvakaleshu Mam Anusmara. Yuddhyacha. That means all the time remember me and then perform your duty. Remembering is must. That's the first priority. Thinking of Him and doing the work as the duty. So, that's very important. From the beginning of the day, you start with thinking of God. It continues throughout the day. Though you are engaged in all activities, it is preceded by the name of God. It follows that since you are constantly remembering God, it means you are purifying your heart constantly, and you will be able to perform our duty properly, efficiently. So, it is said that divine name must be properly repeated. That's the idea in our tradition, in our homes. They used to keep the name of God. The reason is somehow we should be able to, for some reason or other, we should be able to call on God. That was the reason. So, we have to practice repeating the divine name willingly, constantly, and intensely. All these points are important. By doing sadhana in this way, you will develop special love towards God, and everything will be taken care of by the divine name. It is God's power. God's power is manifesting through the mantra. You see, in this created world, everything is manifested in order to know the glory. The fire is manifested in the wood, in the matchstick. You strike the matchstick, fire will come. Then the fire is put off. Again you strike it, again it will come. That means it is ever existent. It is not lost. Because the fire is extinguished, it doesn't mean it is lost. It is there. It is there in the unmanifested condition. Again you strike it, again it will come. So it is not created afresh. It is already there. Again it is coming up. In the same way, all the beings, all the individual souls, they are present eternally. There is no birth or death as such to the jiva. The birth and death is only for the body. For the body. The body drops for some reason, again it takes another body. Again it drops, again it takes another body. It is constant. It is taking the body. So anyway, the whole manifested creation is filled with God's consciousness. That you must know. It's very important. First, Parabrahman, the substratum of everything. The Upanishad says, Isha Vasimidam Jagat. The whole universe is enveloped by God's consciousness. It is always there. It is manifesting in diverse ways. Akashad Brahma. From Brahman comes out Akasha, the space. From Akasha, Akashad Vayuhu. The wind comes. Vayo Ragnihi. From the gaseous substance emerges Agni, energy. Fire is nothing but energy. Agnerāpaha. Then water is projected. Whenever things are being projected, God is filling up. It's God's consciousness is flowing through the creation. Otherwise it cannot go forward. It will stop. The whole creation is in continuous process, an account of the continuous flow of God's consciousness. So, the whole creation is nothing but permutation and combination of God's consciousness. It is taking different forms, that's all. But it is always there. It is constant. So, in the same way, suppose you take an individual being. That individual being does sadhana, and after some time the body drops off. Again that individual being is born. He is born again and again. That he is constant. So there is no death as such for the soul. So, the aspirant who is pursuing formless aspect of God, he meditates on the all-pervading Satchidananda, outside and inside. The disciple might have received from the Guru a mantra of God with form, with divine form. He can also meditate on God's formless aspect. Sri Ramakrishna said that the divine is with form and without form. That's the meaning of telling God's consciousness only exists everywhere. The form of Sri Krishna, the form of Shiva, the form of Devi is indeed standing on the all-pervading Satchidananda. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. Excellent. Lord says, whatever way you contemplate on me, you shall have my grace. He doesn't say you have to meditate only on this particular form. You can meditate on any form of God or Goddess. You will receive my grace. Sri Ramakrishna used to repeat many times, Satchidananda Krishna, Satchidananda Shiva, Satchidananda Ma. What's the implication? The implication is that Shiva, Krishna, Kali or any other divine form has its background the formless Satchidananda. That's the beauty of God. A person who has realized the divine form of God, he should also realize the formless aspect of God. Then his realization is complete. Otherwise, it is incomplete. Sri Ramakrishna had the realization of the Divine Mother. And Divine Mother herself made him do sadhana to realize the formless aspect of God. The Parabrahman, the substratum of everything. And he did realize. So, Sri Ramakrishna is setting an ideal before us. Don't get satisfied, oh it is over. No. Keep doing. More and more things will come. More and more experience you will get. More and more joy you will get. You are rising from joy to joy. That's the glory. Rising from joy to joy. In the ascending order. Then the time will come, the whole thing is filled up with joy only. And I was referring to an incident long time back in one of the classes here. There was a saint in Bangalore whom I saw. He declared that he would cast off this body in meditation. He fixed the date. Thousands of people had gathered there to see that. He had made a asan under the ground in cement concrete. 10 steps you have to go below. There is asan made. You have to take the lamp to see that. There is no window, nothing. It's a pit. Well, everything is done, and Swamiji told his attendants to show us, because I myself and the other Swamis and the group of devotees, we all had gone there. He told his attendants, please show them my seat of meditation where I would cast off this body. And we went and saw that. You can't see, you have to go 10 steps below. The pit steps are there. He fixes the date and he has told that he will go and sit in meditation, and he has fixed the time when the pit should be covered up with concrete, cement concrete. Thousands of people were there, and he had instructed also to one of the devotees, well, I leave this body in meditation, but you feed the people for, he specified the days, maybe 12 days or 15 days. Continuously, whatever number people come, feed them. And that devotee agreed. He was a rich man, of course. But devotion is also there. Many people are rich, all are not devoted. But anyway, this particular devotee was not only rich, he was a very great devotee. He did that. And we saw completely concreted. And that Swami was telling, whenever I want, I will come. Totally fearless. There is no trace of fear. Sparkling eyes, and when I saw him, he was already 90 years past, but he was looking very strong. He's an Andhra saint. Well, so indication that you have realized the absolute reality is that you are totally fearless and you are always beaming with joy. So, the sadhaka who is practicing meditation and japa of the formless deity can by stages have direct experience of the formless aspect of God. Sri Ramakrishna himself has shown to his devotees that he was that Param Brahman who was Kali, who was Shiva, who was Brahman. In fact, he appeared to Madhur Babu as Shiva when he was walking in front of his room. In the opposite direction, when he was walking, Madhur Babu saw him as Mother Kali. And he repeatedly saw. He began to rub his eyes to make sure that he is not dreaming. And then he went and caught hold of his feet. Oh, Master, no more secret. I have known to you now. That Sri Ramakrishna, who gave the Madhur Babu the vision of Shiva and Kali, coming from his own form, he also appeared in a formless aspect to one devotee. When the devotee came and sat and in front of him meditating, the devotee began to see him. Instantly the form disappeared. Leaving Sri Ramakrishna, it visited the home, and the devotee was surprised. Where did he go? Immediately the devotee saw a light, beautiful light, mellow light, and the devotee was in ecstasy. What is this? In the place of Sri Ramakrishna, I am seeing the light, only light. The devotee was just thinking, immediately the light vanished, immediately Sri Ramakrishna's form came there. So showing that Sri Ramakrishna is Parabrahman himself. He is both formless and with form. That's why I keep on telling to the devotees who come to me, I tell them, see, you are very fortunate you have come to Sri Ramakrishna. In Sri Ramakrishna, you are 100% safe. And you get the real experience of bliss if you meditate on Sri Ramakrishna. You will certainly get it, and there is no doubt about it. So in the beginning of sadhana, the aspirant should rely on Akasha or Samudra, that is space or ocean, as symbols of Brahman. The other day I went to Ganges, very near, about 5 minutes drive. There is a lake, beach. I wish all of you, when you visit Ganges, should go to the lake. Not far away lake, very near. It's 10 minutes, between 5 and 10 minutes drive. Excellent beach I saw. Of course, you have to go 20 steps below. Huge. And if you see that lake, what a joy. Vast, looking like an ocean. Beautiful water, ocean. And you can keep on walking and enjoy the coolness of the lake. And you really feel wonder. What a beautiful creation of God. How God has provided opportunities for us to think of Him. The moment you think of that lake and beach, etc., of course you must have little purity of heart. Immediately it will switch on to think of God. Purity of heart is important. Otherwise it degenerates into some kind of picnic joy. That's a worst degraded type of joy. Picnic. People also go to the beach. But their joy is different. Whereas the devotee goes and sees his joy is different. Though both of them are seeing the same lake, same beach, experience is different. The one who is impure is all on the sensuous plane. The one who is devoted, mind rises up to the higher altitude and he feels immensely peaceful and happy. And when it comes back, he remembers it so much, it lingers on the whole day. You will be in a kind of cheerful mood on account of that constantly seeing that beauty. So, they are all symbols of Brahman. They are giving you the opportunity to think of the divine. Think of the divine. That's the idea. Just as on the material plane, Akash, that is space, is holding together all manifestations of space and time. And just as on the ocean, endless waves appear and disappear. Endless waves. In the same manner, the sadhaka, the aspirant, experiences all segments of the universe as waves of consciousness bubbling up on the formless Satchidananda. And just as Parabrahman is manifesting in the natural landscape, giving you the glimpse of the joy of Brahman, in the same way Brahman is manifesting through sound, Shabda Brahma, Nada Brahma, that is Om. So, that's why we always say, keep repeating the Om in the primary stage of mantra sadhana. Japa is experienced as a very low sound in the tongue and from the throat. The sadhaka considers himself a person, a devotee of God, who is repeating his holy name in order to experience love and faith and finally to have his vision. Sometimes the mantra japa goes on mechanically like a machine, and it may be a fact sometimes the mind does not feel any sweetness. That's why he feels it's mechanical. Questions arise. How will the mind be quiet by the repetition of mere sound? How can God be reached through the mantra? Our spiritual teachers tell us that this feeling of dryness and doubt is inevitable in the beginning, but one need not be afraid, one need not be depressed. Spiritual teachers have said this. Don't stop doing japa. One has to keep one's faith strong and don't think about the result. Just continue japa with steadiness. The preliminary distracted condition of the mind soon goes away. As love for japa increases, the quality of the mantra sound undergoes change. The mantra no longer comes out of the tongue or throat, but is felt originating from the depth of the heart. Slowly, the difference, the Ishta mantra and the Ishta form melts away. Sound and form merge. They merge and become one. When I constantly repeat Rama, Rama, then Rama, it merges in the form, in the divine form of Rama. The sound merges in the Rama, and you get into ecstasy, you get into samadhi. You get into samadhi. As the faith that the Ishta is through and through present in the Ishta mantra grows stronger, the presence of the Ishta and love for the God becomes deeper and deeper. Many sadhakas have left hints of their mantra experience in songs and hymns. If you take the life of Tulsidas, he says in one of his compositions, he refers to himself, O Tulsidas, please place the golden lamp of the name of Rama on the door sill of the house of the body. What is that? Tongue. Tongue is the door sill of the body. This would illumine both the inside and the outside. Inside means the inner organs and parts of the body, and outside means the external world. In other words, the name of Rama will bring the spirit of light in your mind and in the world in which you live. Another saint, Ram Prasad, he has also sung very nicely. See, they are overwhelmed to share their experiences. That's why the compositions come very spontaneously. It comes up easily. That's why the hymns of the saints are so direct and effective, very effective. When you sing them, you feel how true it is. Saint Ram Prasad has sung, I have tied the divine name of the mother Tara in a lock of hair on top of my head. I sit ready for the departure from this world by singing the name of Durga. For this type of sadhaka, all worship, meditation and prayer have taken their abode in the name of the Divine Mother. The implication of the name being tied in a lock of hair on the head is that the name is most intimately present in all the three states: waking state, dream state and deep sleep state. In fact, in any situation of life, the Devas and the Devis name have lost their difference for Ram Prasad. There is no more any doubt or fear. Where should I go? What will happen to me here and at the time of death? Such questions no more trouble the mind. The heart remains unperturbed for all times. The sound of the mantra goes on assuming subtler and subtler forms. Coming out from the depths of the heart, the mantra begins, as it were, flowing through the bloodstream and pervading the whole body. The heartbeat seems to become one with the sound of the mantra. The movement of the mantra may go to other areas like the breathing process, the working of the nerves, muscular actions and so on. All these are, as it were, expressions of spontaneous mantra japa. There is japa going on unceasingly in every part of the living body. Japa has now become a total action. The whole physical body is a seat of this total unifying process, japa. So, how it is very, very important that we should practice doing japa vigorously. That's very important. So, when we try to repeat God's name with tremendous faith, it organizes the thought waves of the mind. It is like giving a spiritual bath. See, every day we take bath to cleanse the body. For cleansing the mind, repetition of mantra is like a bath. It's a spiritual bath. While you are repeating the mantra, it cleanses your mind. And if you are focusing your attention upon repeating the mantra, then you feel the effect of it. Focusing is important. It prevents all other unwanted thoughts coming up, intervening when you are doing japa. If you are doing willingly, if you are repeating it with full attention, then you will see how the mind becomes one-pointed and how the mind is able to concentrate upon. Even to practice concentration, repetition of mantra is very useful. Mantra is the support. That is support of your spiritual life. So you must have the support to sustain your spirituality. So you have to hold on to the mantra with all devotion, and you must keep doing it sincerely and honestly. If you really aspire for God, God is sure to bestow His grace, and He is sure to give His vision. That has been demonstrated by Sri Ramakrishna himself. If people really call God, certainly God will come and show His grace. But you have to call Him. Unless you call Him, He will not come. So in the initial stage, the dualistic attitude is necessary. You can't simply say, Aham Brahmasmi, I am that Brahman. Good. Saying is very easy. But do you act in the same way in all your actions? That's why Sri Ramakrishna says, as long as your mind is not purified, it's not good to think you are Brahman himself and do all sorts of things. If you feel you are Brahman himself, you will not do all sorts of things. You do things which are very beneficial to the society, to the country, to the world. You will not do any harm to any being. So, until you reach that state, hold on to, be submissive, hold on to divine form. And you will reach the Supreme God, undoubtedly. That's what I said in the last class. By holding on the chain which was fastened to the log of wood, which was buried in the deep layers of water, if you hold on to the chain and keep walking, you will reach the log of wood and you can touch it and you can bring it. So, repeating mantra is like holding on the chain and going onward, forward, and you will reach God. So, mantra sadhana is very important, and by repeating japa, you will get into God. That's why it is called as japa yoga. Japa yoga. And as I said in the last class, if the mantra has to become active, if it has to become kinetic, you have to repeat the mantra 100,000 times at a time. That is at one sitting. That means you have to do continuously 100,000 times. Well, when a person does repeat the mantra in that way, the whole mind is filled with the divine idea. In order to do that, you shouldn't have all sorts of distracting desires to bother you. If you keep on bothering about this and that, and you'll be always bothering about this and that, you'll never be able to do any sadhana. Well, let us hold on to the actual practice. By the grace of God, we have received the mantra, and by the grace of God, we have got Sri Ramakrishna. So, Sri Ramakrishna has said, do practice earnestly, then longing will come, then realization will come. With these words I conclude my topic, mantra sadhana. We have got a special program in July, that is Guru Purnima. It's a very important date, July 16th. And there is a day when everybody will offer worship to the Guru. Generally we that day offer worship to Vyasa Maharshi, who is considered the Guru of the whole mankind. Vyasa Purnima it's called. So by offering worship to him, we are offering worship to all our Gurus. That's the idea.